the Biden administration now overhauling Title IX, trying to protect transgender athletes, they say, from blanket bans in school sports. They're going to put a proposal that would make that the case. Caitlyn Jenner's with me now. Good morning to you. I've heard you talk about this. A couple of things. NPR poll, majority opposed to trans women competing in women's sports. 63% say they are opposed to that. It's called for number one, guys, on the polling. I've heard you talk about this in the past, that the transgender athletes need to have their own category. You're working with a group for solutions. What's the solution, do you think?
Yeah. Well, there are solutions. I've been involved with a lot of political people over the last few years, and we need to start a movement. And we started fairnessfirst.us. It is a PAC. We are raising money to fight these issues. I know right now, the economy, what it is today. But we're asking people, this is a grassroots effort, $5, $10, $20, $100 to be able to put into Fairness First to fight these issues. Because why? We need to protect women's sports, along with other things, but we need to protect women's sports. And you know what, Bill, we've been fighting this issue for the last year and a half, going back to Leah Thomas, Penn, swimming. Well, you know what? We won that battle. We fought hard. Thanks, honestly, to Fox News and all the reports that they did on it. But FINA, the international organization controlling the rules in swimming, banned trans athletes. And then, right behind that, World Athletics, headed by Sebastian Coe, he did the same thing. He banned trans athletes at the world level. And then what comes along? Next, Joe Biden. Bill, has Joe Biden ever been on the right side of any issue throughout his almost 50 years in politics? I would say no, and he's wrong again. Joe Biden, if this goes through, Title IX was about fairness in women's sports with men. It was a scholarship program.
Sure was.
It was so good for so many women.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure that women had the money that would support the extracurricular activities that men had for decades. Now, I want to share something with you. These are the 20 states with bans on transgender participation in school sports. 2 of those on the list, incidentally, is Iowa and Louisiana. I just got to think about that women's championship a week ago in basketball. That was LSU and Iowa. And what would have been the story if there was a transgender athlete participating in that game and dominated that game and took the attention away from the women who have worked all their lives to find themselves in that game itself?
Well, first of all, you look at Joe Biden, what he just is trying to do with Title IX about fairness in women's sports. And he's trying to say if you don't get federal funds, you won't get federal funds if you ban trans athletes on your team and end women's sports. What he's doing is exactly, remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about what was happening in Vermont, and there was a religious school in a league that decided not to compete against another team because they had a trans athlete. Well, they banned the school, the religious school, from the league. 94 girls were out of athletics to just cater to one trans athlete in another school. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now, and that's what we're fighting for at fairnessfirst.us. We have to fight these issues. I mean, also parental rights. There's a lot of things that we're doing, and we hope people can come in and support this because we're winning some and losing another, and these issues are not going to stop coming up over the next couple of years. And also, we'd like to support eventually candidates that are going to support these issues that we're fighting so hard for.
Okay. Caitlyn, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate your time. I think that school is in Vermont.
Hey, it was my pleasure.
There was blowback. You bet. We'll talk soon, okay? Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.